What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Spanko, and today you guys might be wondering, yo, Spanko, why are you on the Forbidden and Limited card list? There hasn't been an update. Well, this is actually something that I wanted to talk to you guys about, that I just wanted to share my thoughts, because if you guys go anywhere on the internet or on YouTube, you'll see your June 1st banlist predictions, what you YouTubers want to be hit, what they don't want to be hit. Everyone is targeting the tuners and Olion and Jet Synchron and Auroradon and whatnot, and everyone has been talking about what the June 1st 2020 banlist will look like. Now me, I'm here to do the exact opposite. I'm not here to talk about what the banlist should look like. In fact, I'm here to tell you guys that I think there shouldn't be a banlist whatsoever. Now this is just my opinion, but the reason I say that I don't believe there should be a banlist is actually for a few reasons, and I'll go through them as we go along with this video. Before we get into the video though, if you guys like these kind of discussion videos, let me know by liking this video, I guess, and subscribing to the channel to let me know you guys enjoy this kind of content. I could do a lot more of this for you guys. Also, the goal for 2020 is 10,000. We're off to a slow start. I think Corona has to do with it, but that's fine. We're off to a slow start. Doesn't mean we can't finish strong. So now that we're into the video, I want to say that I don't believe there should be a ban list for June in general. Whether it's June 1st, it comes after June 1st, doesn't matter. But I don't believe that there should be a ban list for this month or this format. And my main reasoning and my main argument against the ban list is pretty much we haven't been able to play real life Yu-Gi-Oh for the last 2 to 3, maybe even 4 months now, because of the whole Corona issue, the whole quarantine issue, and social distancing and whatnot, which is completely understandable. But the reason I don't think we should have a ban list is because a lot of these players and a lot of players, in terms of like money wise and financially, have spent money on cards like Needle Fiber, Olion, Jet Synchron, and a lot of people, during banlist season are afraid to pick up cards and are afraid to buy cards, right? And there's actually a few reasons why I think not having a ban list is actually very healthy for the game, and a couple of those reasons, just to name them off like the top of my head, are: one, if we don't have a ban list, what happens is these players can enjoy some of these cards. Of course, we all know Needle Fiber or Auroradon combo is kind of nutty, and we all know Emancipator can be kind of nutty. But the thing is, everyone's playing it online. A lot of people don't understand that people in real life can't afford necessarily, or don't have the budget to pick up a lot of these cards in real life. Now, when you go to a YCS and you go to high level events, yes, sure, you'll see a lot of Emancipator, Needle Fiber combos, Eldritch, etc., etc. But right now, the reason it feels so like cancerous and so bad in terms of the game quality and actual gameplay is because online everyone has access to everything. I can tell you right now, if I go to a regional, just a local regional, not everyone is going to be playing 3 Lightning Storm and the whole Needle Fiber combo and Emancipator and Eldritch, because just honestly, a lot of people don't have $1,000 to spend on Yu-Gi-Oh decks, right? So why hurt the players and why hurt the budget and the pockets of the players of people who actually went out of their way to pick up these cards in anticipation of the return to the game, right? Now, if we get back into playing real life Yu-Gi-Oh and we start seeing real results, because one thing that I noticed, and I'll show you guys right here, this is from LCS2 and this is a top 32. There were 18 Emancipator, 5 Eldritch invoked, and this is like the top 32, right? So who knows how many other people were playing Emancipator and Eldritch and whatnot. This is from LCS2, by the way, right? And I believe that Eldritch invoked won this LCS right over here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so this is the first place list for the Eldritch invoked deck. And I'm going to be honest with you, not everyone can put $300+ on Magician's Souls, $300+ on Golden Lords, another like $150 to $200 on imperms, whatever the situation is, right? Including the extra deck, including a lot of like these side deck cards and Lightning Storm and whatnot. A Pointer of the Lotus has some value and it hasn't gotten a reprint, right, in a long time. So I can tell you, if I go to a local regional in real life and we were playing real life Yu-Gi-Oh, not everyone is going to have access to a deck like this. Now, Ryan Yu, shout out Ryan Yu from Toronto. Shout out Toronto. If you guys see, his Sky Striker actually won the LCS 3. So this is LCS 2 that I'm talking about. This is LCS 3, which he won with Sky Striker, which also goes to show that, hey, look, maybe these cards, like, he didn't abuse a lot of the broken meta cards. He didn't abuse Auroradon. He didn't abuse Needle Fiber in this. So do we really need to hit those? Yes, maybe in the future. Don't get me wrong. And maybe in the future, it's definitely cards that need to get checked and need to be put in check. But how cool would it be if we didn't get a ban list, get the next couple formats, and then, hey, look, we have 2 formats now in terms of the Echo, Auroradon, Needle Fiber, dual overload like format, and then the next format, which is going to be stuff like Dragma and some of the OCG stuff that we still haven't gotten here in the TCG. I think in terms of online play, that would be really fun, because in terms of online play, I feel like a lot of people can do 2 things. one, they can afford everything because everything online is free. If you play on Dueling Book, if you go to these PPG tours, if you go, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Now, I think Konami's way of trying to go around that is do these remote duels, which means that you have to have the physical cards. But again, I don't think it's smart to have a ban list, if we go back here to the ban list, on June 1st, because a lot of these players who have purchased these cards and invested in these cards, especially because Etco just came out, right? Especially here in North America. I guess Europe has had it for a little bit. But in North America, Etco just came out. So imagine the Linkross engine that is being used right now with Needle Fiber and Auroradon. Imagine the Jet Synchron and the O-Line get hit, or Needle Fiber gets hit, let's just say, right? Then it's like, hey, why would I go after Etco? Now, don't get me wrong, Etco still has some great cards in terms of Gearsu, in terms of Argo. But the thing is, the ban list could also hit Dino, right? The ban list could also hit Orchist, and we don't know what the ban list necessarily is going to hit. So the problem is, if you make a ban list too early before we get back into real life Yu-Gi-Oh!, at least in my opinion, what happens is a lot of this set and a lot of Etco and future sales is going to go down up until COVID and Corona is over. And what I mean by that is, if I get a ban list today saying, hey, look, my Needle Fiber deck is banned. I can't play it anymore. Or my Adamancipator deck that I just spent $500, $600, $1,000 even on is banned, right? And gets hit, somehow gets hit, right? Obviously the whole deck won't be banned, but let's say it gets hit to the point where it's really unplayable. I spent all this money, and now I'm going to be thinking to myself, why would I buy more Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Why would I pick up more Yu-Gi-Oh cards until this is all over and until we can go back to playing the physical card game? Because until then, every card you buy is really useless. I can go on any online tournament and pretty much say, hey, look, I want to play Adamancipator today. I want to play Eldritch today. I want to... Like, average people can't afford $1,000 decks, and on top of that, multiple $1,000 decks. Now, another thing I should mention is, here's another, shout out Simo, by the way, I've been using Simo's channel for all of this, but here's another first place Burning Abyss from the PPG tour, I'm pretty sure this was, and pretty much you guys can see right here, BA came first place at this tournament. I think it's PPG, I might be wrong, and they don't look like it's abusing anything per se. Now, of course, it still is playing the Needle Fiber, as you guys can see right here, but for the most part, it's like, it's not abusing anything. And so what I want to pretty much say with that is like, hey, look, this format is not as dull as people make it out to seem, because when it comes down to, hey, I'm going to go to a regional, or I'm going to go to a local event or locals, you're not seeing Needle Fiber everywhere. You're not seeing Adamancipator or Eldritch everywhere. It's just we think that these decks are so quote unquote cancerous and so hard to deal with because online, I could go have, I don't have Eldritch in real life. A lot of people, like you guys probably don't have Eldritch watching this because who's going to spend $1,000 on a deck that they don't necessarily know they're going to be playing in real life, right? So like I said, that was one of my main arguments is we don't have the physical card game, and without the physical card game, it's actually hard to determine what's meta and what's not meta because like I said here, top 32, look at this Adamancipator, 18, half of the people, more than half, were Adamancipator. Does that mean Adamancipator is the best deck in the format? Not necessarily, because this is online. Online, I could go and it could just be luck. The best players in that online tournament could happen to be playing Adamancipator. It doesn't necessarily mean Adamancipator is the best deck. It just means, hey, everyone can afford this deck online because no one has to pay for these cards on these online tournaments. And so when you get high representation and you get a lot of the best players playing this, then it becomes really easy to show, hey, look, Adamancipator's broken. Look at this, more than 50% of the top 32 are Adamancipator. But the next online tournament you see, more than 50% could be Eldritch because everyone has access to everything pretty much is what I'm trying to say online. So all these numbers here are skewed. In my opinion, all these numbers are skewed. This one person that played DDD, for example, and came top 32, first of all, shout out to him. I don't know how he finished, and hopefully he actually did pretty well because that's really cool that you did well with DDD. But what I want to say here is that one person with DDD, what stopped him from playing Adamancipator? Nothing, just the fact that he wanted to play DDD. But these 18 Adamancipator players, now don't get me wrong, I'm saying maybe these 18 could like have it in real life. I'm not saying that these guys aren't able to get these cards in real life. But what I'm saying is in the general population, a lot of these you could say, let's say they had X amount of Adamancipator players, I could cut down half of those easy and say half of those will never get those cards and never have that deck in real life unless they put down a really big number of money, which a lot of people honestly won't do that in terms of budgeting. So what happens is now it looks like all these players are playing Adamancipator, and look, Adamancipator is just heavily skewed towards, but then in real life, not all those people can play it. Maybe some of these people that topped with Adamancipator will never be able to play it in real life, which means now that this one DDD person could have been like 3 or 4 DDD people, because the people who just decided not to play DDD, they decided to play Adamantipator because in their heads maybe it's the best deck. So let's play it. But people don't have that kind of freedom in deciding what kind of deck they want to play in real life, to be honest with you. Now, of course, you can play any deck you want, but like what I'm trying to say is it comes back to, can everyone afford a $1,000 Adamantipator deck? Can everyone afford a $1,000 Eldritch deck? Probably not. And a lot of people like to play this game for fun. Now, don't get me wrong, Adamantipator is a fun deck, and maybe some people wish they could play Adamantipator. I have friends, and me, myself, I play decks online that I don't have in real life because I just have access to those cards online. So what I'm pretty much trying to say with this entire video is, with this first place Sky Striker build, shout out to Ryan Yu, and this first place Burning Abyss build, shout out to Franco, is that the format does not need to be put in check as of right now. Now, of course, let's say we get back into real life Yu-Gi-Oh! And we see, hey, look, okay, these Adamantipator decks are going nuts and doing too many crazy things. That's one thing. But when you're not allowed to play the deck in real life, and you're going to base these events off where everyone can afford everything, I don't believe that is a fair representation of the format, a fair representation of the meta. And so that's why I personally don't believe that there needs to be a ban list on June 1st of 2020. There could be a ban list afterwards. There could be a ban list, I think, once we get back into the game. Now, in my opinion, what could happen is, let's say we do get back into playing local events and whatnot, both in the United States as well as in Canada. If we do go back into doing tournaments, what could happen is we could host a regional or a YCS really quickly and then see what those YCS results are. Now, once we see, okay, look, we had one YCS and it went to garbage because Adamantipator just took over, no one could play against Adamantipator, or Eldritch took over and no one could play against Eldritch, then it's like, all right, next week after the YCS happens, or the weekend after the YCS happens, it's like, all right, well, okay, we don't want to play with this anymore. That means that the online results were right, and we do need to make a ban list and put these decks in check. But what happens is, if we go into a YCS and we see Sky Striker and BA and DDD and all these other decks that have finally gotten support and they start doing well, and instead of right here, instead of seeing 18 out of the top 32 at a YCS being Adamantipator, you see 6. Now it becomes 6, and it becomes maybe 6 or 7 Eldritch, and it becomes now a couple Shaddoll, right? A couple Salamangreat. People sleep on Salamangreat. Salamangreat does pretty well still. I'm pretty sure at this LCS, or there was an event where Salamangreat came 2nd place. So it could have been PPG actually too. If I'm not wrong, actually I'll just go on Simo's channel because I think Simo posted it, if I'm not mistaken. We have right here, like we said, here's the top 8 Guru Control deck profile right over here. I guess Simo didn't post it, I might be wrong. But you have the combo Eldritch, Zombie Control top 8. Like, this is obviously Crush Card Cup and this is more of a local tournament. But like what I'm saying is, look at all these decks that can do well. Right, this one LCS, or let's say LCS 3, which I don't have the entire results of, these numbers are really skewed because, as you guys can see, there's a lot of different variants, a lot of different decks that could do well. Now, granted, a lot of these are Eldritch variants, but for the most part, like, a lot of decks can do well and a lot of variants can do well. So hitting a deck like Adamantipator or putting a ban list to check Needle Fiber and to check something like Olion, Jet Synchron, Auroradon, Dinosaurs, for example. I haven't even seen Dinosaurs do that well. And I think Dinosaur is a great deck. That's just another thing I want to say is, like, a lot of people at these events in real life would be playing Dinosaur because they don't have access to Adamantipator. I don't see any Dinosaur tops. There's no Dino tops, and that's insane to me because I think Dino's an amazing deck right now. So with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think about this video. Do you think there should be a June 1st format? I think I'm gonna try to upload this video tomorrow, actually, so that, like, if in case a ban list comes out, I could say, oh well, okay, I was wrong. But if I can't upload this if you see this after a ban list comes out, right? So I'm going to try to upload this as soon as possible. But pretty much I just wanted to say, if you guys agree with me or if you guys don't agree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. I don't mind if you guys think that there should be a ban list. I just want to hear what your thoughts are, and I just want to see where we can go and what Konami can do with this. I personally don't think there should be a ban list, but I mean, who knows what's going to happen. Konami does things the way they want to do things. I think it would be cool to see this Echo format with, like, the next format mixed in together, especially because we're not having a Worlds anyways, man. Like, I know COVID is a very unfortunate situation. I wish we could have a Nats and a Worlds, but we're not going to have it anyways. So without those events, like, let us play it out. I think personally, like, we should just let this happen and let this play out for now, because hey, look, let these people enjoy it online, because once we get back into real life Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't think these are gonna last too long, right? I don't think these decks are gonna last too long, so might as well enjoy it for right now. One more thing I wanted to say before I ended this video though is check out Spanko sales. I didn't say it at the beginning of the video, but check out Spanko sales if you guys can, if you guys need any TCG cards. Now, I'm not talking about Eldritch and Adamance Bitter, I don't got any of that, but if you guys want cards that are actually meta relevant, and if you guys want cards that are just maybe collectible, everything can be located on Spanko sales. It's my personal sales account where I sell cards that I even have extras of or just don't need anymore, and then it helps go towards supporting the channel. So with that, guys, if you enjoyed, like this video, subscribe to the channel. With that, Spanko signing out. Peace.
My hands steady, I feel ready, but my legs heavy, I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? Still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this, I got promises, you ain't stopping this. Cross my